So thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Sandra, Alarkos, and Anders, and all of you. Yeah, this document, I can tell you, you will understand its value, if not today, 5 years down the line. It is a path-breaking document. And before I say anything, I'm thankful to all of you who contributed directly and indirectly in developing this document. It's a massive exercise, almost 4 years of work to finish this job. But what we have done, we packaged the whole prosthetics and orthotics services as part of essential assistive health technology. So make the horizon a bit bigger. And if you have seen the priority assistive products list, we have ensured that many lower limb orthosis, spinal orthosis, upper limb, and lower limb prosthesis all should be considered as a priority assistive products. So this is how we also see as the global picture, how the mobility devices, hearing devices, cognitive devices, all part of one family of assistive products, obviously because of the need, mobility devices, especially the prosthetic, orthotics, wheelchairs, and other mobility devices, has the larger space. So, but we want to see this goes as a whole, as one package. So now you're familiar with these standards, and even the cover page and all, it has 4 colors which represent 4 Ps, and as you will go more in the standards, you will understand how these colors also guide you to go through the document and navigate it. Some key messages which I must tell you of course, we linked it with the under universal health coverage, but if you see the people at the center, so the whole approach of the prosthetic orthotic standards, it should be people-centered care. A set of 60 global standards to improve access to high quality and affordable prosthesis and orthosis. Is a practical tool to support member states to develop the prosthetics and orthotics program, to remind them that this tool will help them to fulfill their obligations, to realize the Convention on the Rights for Persons with Disabilities, and also to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 3 in particular, on ensure healthy lives and promote well-being at all ages. What we make sure that this prosthetic orthotic standards should be seen as an integral part of the health service delivery. So it should follow the same health system language, action, and the financing mechanism. Most countries in the world, prosthetic orthotics provision is in the big cities or in the capital. It's not quite often is not part of a health system, so that what we are trying to see that if you want to reach everyone, everywhere, then we have to include prosthetics and orthotic services at primary care, secondary care, and tertiary care of services. And this slide also gives an overview. The simpler ones can be done at the local level, and the more complex, you go at the higher level. But we need to have the chain between the community to the tertiary level. And this is the key message and representation of the health sector inclusive prosthetics and orthotics. So we want to see that health sector, as they do all other healthcare, they also take owners or responsibility of prosthetics and orthotics provision. We introduced a lot of new terminology, and one request I have to all of you, try to avoid using the word piano Nobody knows, very few people, even in WHO, very few people know what is prosthetics and orthotics. And if you say piano, somebody said, what WHO has to do with the piano industry? Give it to UNESCO. So when your sector is not known, and if you don't say what you are, nobody will know your sector. So throughout the documents, so some of my colleagues got upset with us, but we use the terminology very carefully. And if you use this terminology, it doesn't matter whether you're in the United States of America or in Zambia, health professionals will understand this terminology. We have gone a big step forward, whether you want to go to ILO or wherever you want to, but with this document, we gave you the label that prosthetic orthotics professionals are health professionals. I repeat, prosthetics orthotics professionals are health professionals. Many people say, what's new? Now, in many countries, prosthetic orthotics, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and all these professionals are recognized as allied health professionals. We deleted the word allied. So we have given you a much bigger platform from where you can negotiate your role and what you can do from prescription to reimbursement. We also said there are two categories of prosthetic or orthotics personnel, only two categories. One is clinicians, another is non-clinicians. Clinicians has a direct responsibility of individual care, independent practice, whereas non-clinicians has to do the same, but under the supervision and support the clinicians. We also said that prosthetics and orthotics personnel need to learn about public health. The weakest component in any prosthetic orthotics course curriculum is the public health. And if you don't know public health, don't expect it will be included in the public health agenda. And to do that, public health professionals need to understand what is prosthetics and orthotics are. So whoever is running prosthetic orthotics training program and all, ensure that you run a short course for the public health professionals, other health professionals, what prosthetics and orthotics are. Unless and until they know, it never can be integrated. Invest in data collection. We need data. In most countries, if we ask, nobody knows how many prosthetic orthotics are needed, what types, what kind. There are some data. This document got blocked in our WHO system because the data is not up to date. We used the data of 2003, or to be honest, sometimes before, we did in El Salvador and few other countries, 0.5%. But we strongly believe with the emergence of aging, population, conflict, and war, this number is much higher than 0.5%. But we could not get the data, so we had to use the 0.5%. I hope people will understand that no Ministry of Health, when they have so many priorities, they will not invest in 0.5% population. So you have to really come with a big data to make them understand what the need is. Data, research, and innovations are the keys to succeed. And we are quite static. I do not know how much resistance I got from our own community members not to think 10 years down the line. All our knowledge, all our experience is of the past. But when we write this kind of document, it's for the future, for next 10, 20 years. So please take that kind of 10 to 20 years down the line, the back of your head while reading this document. And prosthetics and orthotic services should be people-centered. That's the key. And users or users groups' involvement in designing, developing, implementing and evaluating prosthetics and orthotics program. So these are the 10 key messages and 60 standards. If you really make it you work in any country, then we can really say, yes, we have done something, we achieved something. Thank you.